this is going to be great.
Welcome to the White House Pod with David A.R. White.
I am so excited. You're not even going to believe this guest that we have in the studio right now. This man is a legend. Okay, you know, kind of I make a joke about sometimes about how much stuff that somebody has that they've accomplished in their life. Well, look at this book. Look at this book. This is the most pages that we have had with any guest. Now, we've had a lot of guests that have done a lot in their life, Ray, but nobody has had this many pages. Like, we literally chopped down an entire tree.
How many pages do you...
it's got to be like 100, and this is more than a script. This is more than the last God's Not Dead script.
Well, I would hope that I would be more than a script.
Well,
yes.
I mean, but it's very fine print. Take a look at the fine print.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Look at this fine print. You're going to tune into YouTube right now because you're going to have incredible images about Ray Wise.
And single-spaced, too, I see.
Yeah, that's my point. This is like single-spaced, and it's like 100 and some pages. Wow. So where do we begin? Raymond Herbert Wise.
Yep, that's my father's name, Herbert. So I got it as my middle name.
Did you pass Herbert along to anybody?
No. Herbert dies with me.
My middle name, I have David Andrew Roy White. So Andrew.
That's why AR.
AR, yeah. Yeah, but Roy, right, was my father's middle name, and then both my grandfathers were each named Roy.
Wow.
Yeah, ironic. And then my son, I gave my son the middle name of Roy. And I think that Roy will die with him. I don't think he'll pass Roy on anymore either.
That's a lot of Roys. You know. Did you like Roy Rogers as a child?
Well, he was no Ray Wise. And my family and my parents lived in a little town in Canada called Herbert.
Really?
Yeah.
Herbert?
Uh-huh.
There's a town called Herbert.
Yeah, in Canada.
Yeah.
All right. Where are you from, though?
Originally?
Yeah.
Akron, Ohio.
Okay. Mm-hmm. When did you leave?
Back in...
Did you stay there for the whole...
No,
I
went to Kent State University, right outside of Akron in Kent, Ohio. You know, that famous university that had that mess back in 1970, I think, that Crosby, Stills, and Nash wrote about in their song.
Wow.
Anyway, I was there in Akron till 1970 when I went to New York. And I was in New York for a couple of weeks and went to an open audition at CBS on 57th Street.
How old were you, 20, 21?
21, yeah. And I read for the casting director there, a guy by the name of Jean Arley, and she gave me several pages of a script from a show called Love of Life. It was a soap opera on CBS at the time. And a couple of days later, they called me and said I got the part. Yeah.
Your first audition?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, wait. So did you...
Well, actually, it was my second audition. The first one wasn't an audition. It was a meeting with some producers who were doing a production of Fortune in Men's Eyes, a play that was that was directed by Sal Mineo, the actor Sal Mineo. And they were going to do a Boston production of it. And I wasn't really thrilled with the idea of doing that play up in Boston, so thank goodness CBS came through with the offer first. Yep.
Were you doing theater in high school?
Yes. I did every play that I could. In junior high school, I was the PA announcer in high school.
Was your parents though?
Good morning, students. Started every morning that way.
Did your voice actually sound like that when you were in high school?
It was more like, good morning, students.
More like a
This is
Nancy.
your pee
Was it
announcer.
more like a Nancy voice?
Yeah, more like a Nancy voice. Yes.
All right. So, wait a second. So
Yo.
parents in where
I did.
are
Well,
parents?
you asked me if I did plays, right?
Yeah. But I mean, were your parents in? Were they in theater, radio, ministers?
No.
Like, were they speakers? Like, were they?
No. My father, he was. He liked to sing and play the guitar. You know, he was a country western guy,
Okay.
and he performed whenever he got the chance, and he was a very outgoing fella. And my mother was very outgoing also socially, and I guess that I followed suit. I became very outgoing.
Where were you on the kids thing? Were you an only child, or did you have an older brother?
No, I have two younger sisters.
You were the oldest.
Yes,
With this personality, you were the oldest.
I was the old brother.
Wow.
Yes, and I took care of my two sisters, and sometimes I beat up on them a little bit, but otherwise, I
They deserved
I
it.
pretty much protected
They were
them.
acting like Nancy's, and they needed
yes,
to be the.
yes.
That's Ray's and I's.
I taught them how to play football and how to tackle and that sort of
Did you
thing.
really?
Yeah, I was a football player.
Wow.
I can show you, several joints on my body that don't work right.
What position did you play?
Well, I started out as a fullback, a running back, and then I switched to guard
Okay.
because I didn't do so well
Yeah.
as a fullback.
Yeah, those are bigger. Bigger guys.
Yeah, and I wasn't quite fast enough. I was fast, but not quite fast enough. But as a pulling guard,
I've never thought you were fast on the way to set.
I was-
I'm just saying. Like, it's Ray Wise. Ray Wise. He's in this trailer.
I
It's
was,
like, how long does it take to get Ray Wise?
well, that is
to
true,
get to
but I'm
set?
always on time.
You actually are always on time. Even to this podcast, Ray Wise was on time,
I was.
like early. Actually, you were a little bit early.
I was out there sitting, reading a Variety, I think, or something, and
Yeah.
and then you came out and got me.
Just reading you in Variety.
And then I ate the chocolate chip cookie, which is still
I don't know. Yeah.
stuck on some of my caps.
It's
so.
always the okay. So wait.
Yeah.
So you, but we digress. You're in high school then. No, your dad was a performer. Your mom was outgoing, so it kind of makes sense. Do you ever go back and go, I wonder where I got this love of this art from?
Well, I immediately when I got out on a stage in front of an audience,
You came alive.
yeah, that's what I knew I wanted to do. That kind of adulation that you feel,
Yeah.
from an audience that appreciates something that you're doing and watching intently.
Did you study it in college too?
Yeah, I was a theater major.
Okay.
Well, at that time they didn't have a theater major at Kent. I was a speech major. So
Is that where you got your voice?
yeah, and my diction and all that other stuff, and it got rid of all of my defects.
So by the time you got out when you were 21 years old, obviously you always looked this good. So bam, you're an unbelievable, good-looking young lad.
Well, thank you. That's very sweet of you to say that.
And then your voice was spot on. Did you really have to work on it, or did you always just have this like unbelievable?
No, my voice was always sort of good. Yeah, when I was in high school, I did a local television show called Adventures in World Literature, and I would do scenes from Shakespeare and Eugene O'Neill, and and one of my English teachers, he was the host of that show, and it was WAKR, the local TV station in Akron, Ohio.
I thought you were going to say in Cincinnati.
No, Akron.
You know, WKRP.
Oh,
Cincinnati.
WKRP.
There's my
Cincinnati.
throwback.
This is WKR in Akron. Yes.
Not to be confused. Okay, so you get this. You go. You're 21 years old now. It was a soap you got, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love of Life.
Love of Life.
Yeah.
Bam.
And I played a character by the name of Jamie Rollins, and he was a college radical when I joined the show. I started riots on campus. I caused the president of the university to have a heart attack. That sort of thing.
I mean, you had 950 episodes to do that.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
No, it says it right here. 950
Well,
episodes.
If it says that, then I guess.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's a lot of learning.
It's about 7 or 8 years worth, and yeah, it's a lot of pages, a lot of learning.
What did you love most about that soap?
Well, it taught me everything I needed to know about how to move in front of a camera.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a great training ground for that sort of thing. You know, how to hit your marks and be in the right spot at the right time for the camera to pick you up.
Did you do like 15, 20, 30 pages a day, like soap operas do?
In those days, The Love of Life was only a half-hour soap.
So thank God you only had to do 10 pages a day.
Yeah, and we did, and we did it like a play. We started right at the beginning and worked all the way through to the end and tried not to stop. It was on tape. They did tape it, but we tried not to stop.
Was it like a 3-camera thing?
Yes, exactly. 3 cameras, yeah. Now today, you know, I did Young and the Restless not too long ago. I won an Emmy Award, by the way, for doing that show.
Well, I haven't got there yet. I mean, you know,
I'm sorry.
That's on page.
I'm sorry. I jumped ahead.
That's on page 32.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, my Young.
You know what?
and
There's no wrong here, Ray.
I
no
know.
wrong. This is, you know, it's
Yeah,
free
and
form.
Young and the Restless, it was quite common to do 30, 35 pages a day.
Okay. But
That-
back
that
then,
would have to
this was
memorize.
different, though. Love of Life was different.
Different. It was different. Yeah,
Okay.
It was more like doing a play
Okay.
on stage, but for the 3 cameras.
Did you always have no problem memorizing, or did you have to work at this?
Never had a problem memorizing. Never.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess it's almost like photographic.
Yeah.
You know, my mind takes a picture of the page, and then when I go back to a particular line, I can actually see this position.
You can actually
on the
see it.
page.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
guess that's what a photographic memory means.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you take a picture of it. It would
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah.
But
And-
that you can actually see that page. See, I don't ever work like that at all. I can't see the page.
you can't see the page?
No, I just know the line. But it's not like I can remember where the page is at or anything like that.
Yeah.
Isn't it confusing though if you do that, right, and you see the page,
Yeah.
you get new pages every day, or they change a line or two, then they give you another page, which then in turns throws off what you did learn is now down here.
Well, I take the new page, and I go, click it again. Take that snapshot.
So you don't remember the other one then. It cancels the other one.
I
out.
try to throw it away as fast as
you can.
possible.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I've never actually asked anybody about their photographic memory in that way before. Isn't that weird? You'd think
Yeah,
that I would have asked like
you
a
would
million
think-
people
yeah,
questions
because
about that.
I'm sure that other people have it.
But they never has explained it like that. Take a picture.
yeah.
I like your sound effects. That you
And I actually see that picture in my head. Yeah.
Okay.
It's on the back wall of my brain, I guess you could
It's
say.
pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah.
And furthermore, Ray and I just finished God's Not Dead, In God We Trust, the 5th installment of God's Not Dead. He's coming back.
Yes.
We don't get along in the movie, but we have a lot of debates in the movie. And then ironically, and some long debates in the movie, but ironically, we had you come back because they didn't like the first debates that we did, so then we had to redo new debates.
Yes, they wanted
And
more. They wanted more conflict between the two of us.
Yeah.
Not so much buddy. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
for the villain, because he plays the villain.
Because we liked each other too much, you know, and we didn't really want to step on each other too hard.
But not in the second one. We step all over each other.
We step all over each other.
Yeah, the myths.
He's
are
not nice
taken
to
off.
me, and I'm not nice to him either.
But the interesting thing was we just gave you another lots of words to say. And what I was going to say though is that people, a lot of actors that we have worked with who are, you know, maybe they're not I hate to break it to you, you're not in your 20s. You are a little bit older than that. You have 400 pages to show for it. So, point is though, is that you are as sharp on your memory as you were in God's Not Dead 2, which was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, is it that long ago?
Yeah. And then even Rev Road, when you came on Rev Road, you had this unbelievable, great speech that people still talk about to this
I
day.
love that. Yeah, I love that speech.
That speech
Yeah.
about Jesus and the bridge and the whole thing. Great speech. But that's about 12, 13 years ago. And even back, I mean, so that was my first working with you was about 13 years ago.
Yeah.
And you've always been spot on. And to this day now, even at where you're at in this lifetime, you're still like sharp as ever.
I think so.
Yeah, but that's uncommon.
I don't think I've lost
for guys that,
so much up here. Maybe a little bit, you know.
in the nuts and bolts of your knees when you were playing.
Exactly,
right?
in the
That's what we're talking
footwork.
Yep.
But otherwise, I'm good.
Okay, so we go from, how long are we in New York then before you moved to LA?
I was in New York from 1970 till 1978.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what brought you to L.A.?
Just my job ended on Love of Life, and I did a couple of Broadway shows in '77 and '78.
Yeah.
And I did Romeo and Juliet on Broadway, and I did Tartuffe by Molière on Broadway. And I thought...
Did you win a Tony for that?
No.
What?
No.
Did they nominate you? They better nominate you.
They never even nominated
me. Are you
me.
kidding me?
No.
Oh my gosh, Dylan, make sure we put in a phone call. We're gonna talk. To some
yeah, I've
people.
been shortchanged many times in my life.
Well, yeah, I'm sure.
And but I have received some reward here and there, and certainly you remembering me always is a big treat and a reward in itself.
Well, thank you, and we are always pleased as ever when you show up.
We have such a good time working together. We really do.
We do.
We really do.
Well, you're a class act. I mean, that is and not to mention you're an unbelievable performer, and it's an honor to work with you every single time.
Well, vice versa, back at you.
All right. So how did we move to L.A.?
I drove a moving truck. I put my apartment in the truck.
But was it a big decision? Like, was it like, were you weren't married at this time?
No, I was, but we were separated.
Okay. Different wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
First wife. Okay.
Yeah. The wife that I have now, I've been with for
I know, for a long time.
over 40 years.
Yeah. My gosh. Okay. So, so you're separated from the first one, and
I pick up the second one in Chicago. She was living in Chicago
on the drive.
On the drive, yes.
Come on.
Yes.
No way.
No, I didn't. That's not,
The
that's not when I first met her.
Okay.
Goodness gracious.
I was going to say.
She wasn't just standing
this story
out in the
gets
corner,
better.
you know, with her thumb out and waiting for me to pick her up. No, we'd been having a romance for about a year, and
Okay.
going back and forth between Chicago and New York.
Yeah. This is 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we finally decided, let's just both move our apartments out to California and start over there.
Was she in the business as well?
She was producing television commercials.
Okay.
In Chicago.
Had she ever got you in one of those commercials?
No, but I was on a list for reading for one of the commercials that I didn't get, and that's where she saw my name, and that's how we got back together. Yeah, and we knew each other in college.
Wow.
At Kent State University.
Okay.
And we dated, I believe, for about a year, for about a month, maybe a little over a month, and then she had enough of me.
Mm-hmm.
In college,
I know well.
In college, I was quite full of myself.
Really?
I was the
Yeah, you were the king.
King of the theater department.
Okay.
And I guess probably I was a little bit too arrogant and narcissistic for her. And so she said bye-bye to me, and then I didn't see her again for about 10 years.
Yeah, but then you went off to New York, and you got on a
Then she came to New York to shoot a commercial, and I was on the commercial list, and she saw my name, and she gave a call to my manager, and they called me over at CBS and said, "Hey, this gal wants to say hello." And so we had lunch that afternoon, and we've been together ever since.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Wait a second. So,
Yeah.
so first of all, I know we have a lot to get through here with all this stuff, but 40 years of marriage in Los Angeles is like 200 to the
Anywhere
common
else.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how in the world has it been an easy 40 years? Has it been has there been, being an unbelievable star like yourself, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to work with Ray Wise. Clearly, you work nonstop, Ray.
True, I do.
You
yeah.
still work nonstop.
That's the way I like to keep it.
Yeah,
you like to keep
but
it going.
not only on little things. You do. You're not. I don't mean you're even on little things. I'm saying you're on hit television shows nonstop. You star in hit television shows.
Yes.
How in the world do you keep your marriage going?
Well, I don't see that much of her. That's the. I think that's. I believe that's the key.
Is that what she would say too?
No,
I know.
I'm being facetious, but no, we.
It's for our listeners.
We do. I know we do. I do travel a lot, and And
Did she ever travel with you?
oh yes, oh yeah.
Okay. Why have you not ever brought her to one of our sets?
I think she was probably doing something else at the time.
It's because she didn't want to see me. Is that the deal?
No, that's not
She's
it
like,
at all.
yeah, I can't.
She likes you. She does like you.
you.
She does like you, but hasn't seen most of your work.
Yeah, well, it's understandable. I mean, I'm no Ray Wise. I don't have 700 pages.
Okay.
Okay. So, but is there a secret that you tell anybody out there who is trying to make marriage in Los Angeles work? Sorry to digress here for a second.
Well, no, I just think just to be.
Are you best friends still?
Yeah.
Were you
yeah.
always best? Do you have fights? Does Ray
wouldn't say
Wise
we-
ever? I've never actually seen you angry at very many people other than the AD who was very loud on a boat.
Oh yeah, that drives me crazy. That guy. That guy.
Well,
He'd do it right next to my ear, and it would explode.
Like this, Ray's hair is like right here, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Quiet down, everybody!" And poor Ray's.
And I've got the pages in my head, trying to remember what they were, and he's
That you
blowing
just
my
took a
ear out.
picture of about 22 seconds earlier.
He would blow my pictures right out of my head.
All right, so okay. When you look back on your television career, right?
Yeah.
So you go from first of all, how was when you came to LA? Was it as easy as when you went to New York? Did you just take off? I mean, at this point, you were like a known soap opera actor, and you've been on Broadway.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think the first couple of things I went up for, I got a Charlie's Angels back in.
You started doing guest stars.
Yeah, guest star. Yeah, with a young girl that was doing her second job at the time by the name of Jamie Lee Curtis. You know,
Okay.
who has since won an Academy Award, you know, and she's become become a very fine actress. And
Terminator.
in that
True
Charlie's
Lies.
in that Charlie's Angels, I played this ex-army.
Freaky Friday. Sorry, I'm just
No,
thinking
no,
Jamie
no.
Lee Curtis and all the things that are coming up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I played this ex-army guy who was stalking
Did you say
her.
sex army guy?
No, an ex-army.
Oh, ex. I was like, what in the world, Ray?
I was in the
this is a
sex
family.
army.
This is a family podcast here.
Not a sex army guy, an ex-army guy.
Got it. Okay.
And I was stalking Jamie Lee Curtis, who was playing this young PGA golf player.
Okay. Did she have short hair at the time, or was it long?
It was short.
She's always had short hair. Really?
I think so, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah. Not quite as short as she has it now.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
a
now
little bit more. A little
Yeah.
bit more.
Okay. I always get her mixed up with the Terminator girl too, which I know it's not the same.
Linda Hamilton?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've worked with her, too. I played her husband in Beauty and the Beast, a pilot that was done for a series called Beauty and the Beast with Ron Perlman, who played the Beast.
How long were you on that show?
I just did the pilot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh my gosh, if we put Ray onto this, he's going to be a regular forever."
Well, and I don't think they really wanted to pay me.
It's understandable.
yeah,
I don't even want to pay you what you're worth.
Well,
all the
I know
time.
that.
It's
I
like
know.
it's so expensive to get Ray Wise.
Yeah.
Ray's got a good agent.
I have a good agent.
Have you
yeah.
had that agent for how long? Long time, right?
No.
Really?
Well, my present one.
Yeah. Is it Harry Gold?
I probably Harry
It is,
Gold.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I've had Harry for about 6 or 7 years.
Oh, who did you have before?
Oh,
Like, did you? Are you one guy who normally stays with agents for a long time, or have you had a lot of agents? over the years?
well, what's that old joke about? Changing agents is like changing deck chairs
Tires.
on the Titanic. I've been through so many agents.
Really?
You would not believe.
Yeah.
I can't remember all of them.
What's the secret of having of getting rid of an agent, or the secret of wanting to keep an agent?
Well,
Do you ever imagine yourself? Okay, the people who go up there, they accept their awards or whatever, Academy Awards or whatever, and they say, "I just want to thank this agent, right, who's been with me since whatever. I was 12 years old or something."
well, let's if I
It doesn't happen very often.
No.
Not in our business.
If I were ever to, receive an Academy Award, I'd keep my speech short and sweet.
Just because you've watched enough long speeches and you're like,
yeah, and,
I could do everybody a favor here.
And just like
Yeah, but your speech would be amazing.
I love Ruth Gordon's speech that she gave, where she said, "This is very encouraging," and she was like 88 at the time. That's probably, I would probably say something like that. This is extremely encouraging. And now, would somebody help me off the stage?
Why didn't you give this to me 50 years ago?
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, so we go right away. Boom, you're on these shows, right?
Yep.
Does Ray Wise? Here's the thing that I constantly am amazed about you is a classy gentleman.
Thank you.
Good looking, as always. Look at Ray's always tan. One of my dreams is to be more tan. Dylan knows it well. I'm always like, why can't I be more tan in these things?
Well, see,
why can't I look like Ray?
When at least,
what ethnicity are you?
When you stay, somewhat tan,
Yeah.
you don't have to wear as much makeup. And this is something that I've always.
But you must have fought with makeup artists for over the years, right? Who want to put more makeup on you?
Yeah.
And then what do? You
And
say,
I've
I'm
done-
already tan. I look good.
That's what I tell them.
And they're like, oh, that's true.
I say,
He does
just
look good.
just cover up the dots
Yeah.
a little bit, or if you'd like to connect them, we'll see what we come up with. But
Is that how it goes?
yeah, pretty much.
And you don't do very much makeup at
I
all?
don't do hardly any makeup at all. I didn't for our last movie.
Wow. Well, I was totally caked because I'm just trying to look, trying to catch up to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have you seen
The cut?
the dailies?
I've seen the cut.
Oh, you've seen the cut.
Yeah.
How does it look?
This thing has to run in Cannes actually next week.
Wow.
Yeah. It's going good. September 13th. We're in theaters.
Are you going to be there?
You'll be there too. I'm saying in theaters though. It's
Oh, in
wide.
theater. Oh, I see.
September 13th. It's wide. It's 2,000 theaters.
September 13th.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then
okay.
we just did a bunch of pickups.
Yeah.
We did like I'd say we reshot 30% of the movie.
Yeah.
After we had done already that. And
After we all done
yeah.
100%, we shot another 30%,
Yeah.
adding on to the 100%. Mm-hmm. And
But it flows, and our stuff back and forth. Ray is basically running for. He is running for Congress. Actually, not running. You are a senator.
I'm a state senator,
Yeah.
but I'm running for Congress.
Okay, got it. And do you think you're going to win? But maybe you won't, because there's somebody running against you.
I'm certainly going to try. This guy over here.
All right,
Yes.
let's get back to TV.
And since he is the producer, why don't you try and guess who's going to win?
Way to blow it, Wade.
No, I didn't.
You kind of just put a little
I
thing
gave
out
nothing
there.
away.
Well,
I gave nothing away. I
Okay.
said you would try to win.
I would try.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to this.
Yeah.
How okay. You have when you land,
Yeah.
you start doing TV shows, right?
Yeah.
Was there ever a thing inside of you? At what point were you like, I want to be a movie star? I want to turn this into now movies, or did you? Or were you happy just going, hey, you know what? I love doing television.
Yeah. Well, I did both at the same time always.
Okay. But when was your first movie when you landed in LA?
The first movie I made was in Ohio in 1969.
Good grief, Ray. I thought we had come to L.A., and now we got to go back to Ohio
You have to go back
piece
to
this all
Ohio.
together?
Yeah, and it was called David.
Thank
and,
you.
And I played a character a young man who was going into the seminary, and he meets an older woman
Yeah.
who tries to dissuade him from going into the seminary.
Oh. Did
It's
it
kind
work?
of a
Is this like The Graduate?
kind of yeah
Wow.
yeah.
And you were
kinda.
young at that point, too.
I was a baby.
Who was the lead girl? Woman?
Her name was Sophia.
Was she good at luring you away from the seminary?
She was this kind of Anna Magnani, kind of a voluptuous Greek actress, much older than I was, and
Yeah.
But you could see the attraction,
Okay. When do we get the Reaper? When did this happen for you?
Reaper happened in 2007.
Okay, so you had been here a little while.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You had done mostly TV.
Well, you
or
forgot
TVs and movies?
Twin Peaks.
Well,
yeah,
wait a second.
Well,
How did I forget that?
I don't know. It's before Reaper.
Where is that?
Are you going chronologically?
Well, I was trying, but I don't think I'm doing a very good job of it.
Oh,
Here's
my
Star Trek: The Next Generation. I'm like, well, that can't be like that. Yeah. Here's Twin Peaks. I found it.
Star Trek: Next Generation was just before I did Twin Peaks.
No, it was after you did Twin Peaks, according to this thing.
Really?
Well, that's what this says. But okay, hold on a second. Twin Peaks. Is this
Well,
your
I'll be
first?
done.
Is this your first mainstream, like first nightly, whatever,
No, wait a
prime
minute.
time series?
Let me straighten this confusion.
Okay.
I guest starred on Moonlighting, okay? And this was like 1987, I
How did
believe.
that
Or
not get in
88.
here?
Oh, no, it might have been 1988.
Okay.
Or 87.
Okay. Did you
And-
steal Sybil from Bruce?
Yeah, and I was running after Sybil Shepherd at the
course you
parking
were.
garage at Century City Hotel.
to not kill her. To kill
I'm
her?
running after her to, but not to kill her.
Yeah, just
but
stab her.
just to grab her.
Oh, grab her.
Yeah. And I snapped my left Achilles tendon
Like in real life?
in real life.
Oh.
And I went down. And it was repaired the next day by Dr. Louis Yoakum, who was the team orthopedic surgeon for the California Angels.
Jeez. Okay.
And he repaired it.
Well, he is Ray Wise.
And in 2 weeks later, I was back finishing that Moonlighting episode.
With like a pin in your ankle?
They put me on a cart, and I was sitting on on a stool, and they pulled the cart, and I acted like I was running. So my Achilles was repaired, and I remember doing that Star Trek Next Generation with still a healing Achilles. So I had to be very careful running around Vasquez Rocks, that we shot out there, and.
Where they did the Flintstones.
Yeah, and then it was after that I did the pilot for Twin Peaks. So I believe.
Oh, okay. So you were right about this.
Yeah.
Well, Wikipedia has been known to be wrong.
Oh, always when it comes to.
Okay, wait. So you do Star Trek Next Generation.
Yeah.
And now, what is the thing that makes you go on to Twin Peaks? What was that? You just got an audition, or do you even have to audition?
I got called out of the blue to meet with David Lynch, and Johanna Ray, his casting director,
Yeah.
called my agent and said, bring him in, and I met with David, and we didn't talk at all about Twin Peaks or the script or any of that. We talked about our first cars and actors that we knew in common and that sort of thing. And after about 15 minutes, that was it. And then he gave me the part a couple of days later of Leland Palmer. Then I had to look through the script again to see who Leland was, because I thought I was going to be Sheriff Truman. I thought I was going to be the sheriff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The part that Michael Ontkeen played.
Right.
And no, I was Leland, and I opened up the script and I looked at it and I said, yeah, Leland finds out that his daughter is dead, and he breaks down and starts crying, and then he goes to the mortuary in the hospital to identify his daughter, and he sees her. And
is this the pilot, or is this?
This is the pilot.
Oh, okay.
And he starts crying, and then the next scene, the police are going through his daughter's bedroom to find her diary, and he's sitting on the bed crying, thinking about his daughter. And I said, all this guy does is cry. And therein, I saw the challenge. I was going to have to show different levels of grief and crying.
Yeah.
And
Through every episode.
Through every episode.
Wow.
And then I did some very strange things on that show, like dancing with myself and
Like the song?
yeah,
Dancing with myself. You did
Yeah.
Had they recorded that song at that time?
And no,
it came out?
I think they had. I think
like
it was
it
already
might
out. Yeah, 1980, 1990.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wait a second. So how many years were you on Twin Peaks?
Just 2.
Okay.
It only went for 30 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you? It was such a cool show.
Yeah.
Were you sad when it was done?
Oh,
after 30?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
well,
critically acclaimed.
Actually, I was done by the 16th episode.
did you win
Then
an
they brought
Emmy
me
on that
back.
show?
Huh?
Did you win an Emmy on that show?
No.
You must have been nominated.
No.
What?
And this is the part that
Oh my gosh!
Bugs
Because
the
that
hell out of
show,
me. Yeah.
yeah, it was an unbelievable show, critically acclaimed, everything, right?
Yes.
Who did they give an Emmy to?
They
for that show?
they put up Piper Laurie and Kyle MacLachlan, and not me.
What did you ever go? Did you
And
ever
no,
go,
it just,
David?
I did not. I did not know how you even submit yourself for Emmys.
Did they submit themselves?
No, the show submitted
Yeah,
them.
of course,
The
right.
show did not submit. I didn't
Right.
understand the process.
Right. Well, it's
the whole-
tricky because you think that you want to believe their award shows are just legit and honest, and they give it to the best person no matter what.
Yeah.
Not that somebody is submitting or somebody's like trying to edge in somebody.
If
to
you
get
don't
it.
submit,
Right.
you don't get
you're not
nominated.
even- I know.
So and this is something I didn't realize.
Wow.
I thought perhaps they just saw your work and thought, "Wow, this guy's
I
good."
mean, that
and-
would be the way that it's supposed to go.
Yeah, that's not the
but
way.
that's
it
not the
goes.
way life goes either.
I wasn't submitted, and it still irks me to this
Wow.
day.
Yeah. Understandably.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's stop talking about that because that's just starting to irk me too.
Yeah. I've never really talked about
You've
that
never
to anybody.
You've never actually brought it up with David Lynch.
No.
Have you seen David Lynch very often after that?
Yeah.
Is this like a thing? Do you guys do you get coffee?
Well, no, we don't get coffee. No. But he had a retrospective at the Museum of Art in Orange County, and they had a banquet there, and I attended that with David, and we had a good time that evening, and where they showed an exhibition of his artwork, and so we have.
Yeah, you keep up a little bit.
Yeah, we keep up a little bit.
Yeah,
not,
it's Hollywood.
Not very much, and then of course when they did the new season of Twin Peaks, he called me on the phone, and I wasn't there to answer. I played the tape machine later, and he said something like, "Hello, Ray, it's David Lynch. Well, we're going back to Twin Peaks, buddy."
And
And I thought, well, this is going to be great.
yeah.
They're going to bring Leland back, and see, I was dead on the show.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Did you ever get brought back?
well, no. Well, I did. They showed me in the Red Room, which is a kind of intermediate space in between heaven and hell,
Okay.
sort of thing.
That's cool.
And I did a small scene where I had one line that I said backwards, and yeah, we learned how to speak backwards, and then they play the tape forwards, and it sounds like a real English line.
It sounds almost like you're an alien.
And
Like,
I didn't quite understand that whole process, but anyway, I only
Well,
have
that didn't last very long.
no.
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 It's not the original with you. That's why.
Yeah, I thought maybe he could have brought me back as my twin brother.
Anything.
Yeah, instead of Leonard Palmer. Instead of Leland Palmer.
All right.
Anyway.
Where? Okay. So
Yeah.
Reaper comes around.
Reaper
Because
comes
how long
around.
was Reaper on? How many years?
Well, actually, I did a show called Savannah before that.
Okay.
Savannah for the WB, the WB network before it became.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah. And we were their flagship show along
Savannah.
with Savannah. Yeah,
I never saw that one.
yeah.
Okay.
We did
many
34,
seasons?
35 episodes, a couple seasons.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I got to talk about. I want to talk. Just tell me, Reaper. How many years were you the devil?
Just 2.
Really?
Yeah, we only
What?
did.
That only went 2 seasons?
Yeah, 33. I think 33 episodes.
These things though are so boom iconic.
There was a writer strike during it,
yeah.
and that sort of killed the momentum of the show. But there was no reason to cancel that show.
No.
I won't.
The
really-
ratings were great.
Yeah,
All kinds
the
of
ratings
things.
were as good as anything else the CW had in their network. But I think for the powers that be,
maybe
the head
the
of the
age
network,
ranges or whatever
we
they're
didn't have enough Gossip Girls in our show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
We were just a bunch of guys having a good time.
making really cool art though.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought
Yeah.
it was a great show.
Have you played the devil? How many times have you played the devil?
Oh, well, I played devil-like characters.
Yeah, a lot of bad guys.
Several times.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how many times.
Yeah.
The actual devil, just really
Reaper.
twice.
Reaper, and what was the other one?
Well, it was a thing that I did for Will Ferrell's outfit. I can't think of the name of it now. Funny or Die.
Oh, okay.
You know the Funny or Die thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I played the devil in a Funny or Die skit, and I think I was reading poetry. I don't quite remember, but forget about it.
All right, they're gonna look at it. What? 3 minutes?
What?
Come on.
We haven't.
I haven't even cracked page 1.
Oh, come on.
Okay, give me 5 minutes. Can I have 5 minutes? All right, I got 5 minutes, Ray.
Is it okay?
Of course it's right. It's okay. We're going to bend the rules, Ray. You're Ray Wise.
Am I not funny enough?
No, you're very good.
Oh.
You're very good. You're going to have to come back.
I shall.
Please come back. You don't live that far from here, right?
10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty good.
Even less.
That's amazing.
If I drive
Los Angeles.
fast, 7 or 8.
Okay, good. You're going to have to put down. You're going to drive fast and come back here because we're not done by any means.
We have about 30 pages to go anyway.
All right. So, Reaper. How does Reaper end? Do you get a call that it's like boom, or does it just you don't get a call and you're like?
I got an official call.
Okay.
Yeah.
That said, hey, we're not picking it up.
And we're not picking it up, yeah.
And now Ray is back on the marketplace.
I'm back in the marketplace, and...
See, this is amazing, though. For as much TV and as much work in movies that you do, you just have not found that agent, though, guy that gets Ray Wise, who Ray Wise is. Is that kind of your feeling?
Yeah, that's kind of my feeling, yeah. Yeah.
Because you're like... And is it because you want to go explore, other... roles bigger? You want to be in the Avengers?
I would at least like to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
For a lot
for
a lot of these parts that come around. I'd like to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
For more of them.
And do you feel like in looking back all the years that you've been in LA now, not to date you because you still look like you're 49, 47 years old, I'd say, maybe.
Well, that's very kind of you.
47?
Thank you.
Maybe. I mean, look at his teeth.
I'll take that.
Amazing.
I was born in 47.
Oh my gosh, you were born in 47.
I was.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So odds to actors who come and try to get into this business.
Yeah.
The business changes, but you've changed with it in many, many ways. Ray Wise has been in television since, the early days.
Yeah.
You've seen it change. What's your take on it?
Well, my take on it is you just have to remain flexible. And
is it hard for you, though? Because you seem like the coolest cat, like nothing bothers you.
Well,
other than the guy with the bullhorn.
Things used to really bother me, years ago. And then after you experience a succession of disappointments,
there's a great quote about something about the disappointment thing. I forget what it is.
Yeah, they become less disappointing.
Yeah.
The
more disappointment you have, it's less.
I remember,
but also because you have, you're at the top of the game. Like you're the devil on the Reaper. You're like, on Twin Peaks, one of the biggest shows in the history of television.
And fresh off the boat.
That's just even, you've been doing that for
haven't got to that.
Not even, jeez. Yeah. But so, you're always on a massive television show at the time.
Yeah.
So you're up here. And are you going, man, I could have been an amazing Avenger or whatever, a bad guy in the Spider-Man movie or that, or is it like why I want my own television show again? Like where does it play? Like
I don't those superhero characters don't appeal to me.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah. I'm more of an actor's actor kind of a guy.
Yeah, that's true. You are.
And so I like to keep things on a kind of an even keel, not too much.
Does your wife center you in some way?
Yeah, in many ways, yeah.
Yeah.
Simply by not watching any of my work.
I know. I send him Hitting the Brakes episodes. I didn't watch it, David.
No. She's very supportive. But again, she doesn't try to stimulate my ego. Yeah, let us say.
Yeah, do you have to take out the trash?
Sure, I take it. Oh, yeah.
I would think you'd have people for that.
No, I do everything myself.
Is it because of you could have people for it, but you don't? You want to do it yourself?
I want to do it. I want to do it
because it makes you feel like a real human being when you do that.
I am a real human being.
Well, I know, but
it makes me feel like a real human being.
But you also, you're also a huge movie star, TV star.
Yeah, but I'm not really.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not really.
Have you seen your book?
I'm just Ray Wise. I'm a guy.
But when did you start telling yourself or reminding yourself that you're just a guy who will take out the trash?
When did I start reminding myself that I was just a guy to take out the trash?
That you could do that too, and you could also go pick up the mail. You didn't have to have a person to do that.
From the trash to the mail.
Well, but cook a meal.
I've always taken out the trash.
Really?
I've always picked up the
I don't
mail.
buy that. When you're on this show and Reaper, when you're on the Twin Peaks and you're at the height of and everybody's calling you, and other than the Emmy
If
people,
I'm doing the show here in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
I'm taking out the trash.
and you're still going home and taking out the trash.
Now, with Reaper, I did it up in Vancouver.
So you couldn't take out the trash.
I had no trash to take out there. I was staying in a hotel, and they took out the trash.
These are the conversations that I love with Ray Wise, because I'll try to corner him on something, and he just will not. He's just like so slick. You're so and you just love the guy. It's really frustrating, everybody.
Well, I don't want to frustrate you, but
I mean, it's frustrating, Ray.
Well, I'm going to have to do this another time because
Yeah. All right, so
you're not really getting to my essence.
all right, so we got 2 minutes to talk about your essence. What do you want to tell me about your essence? More importantly, what do you want to tell the audience about your Ray Wise's essence?
Oh, well,
When's your birthday, Ray?
in August.
I got it right here. It's August 29.
August 20th. See, Wikipedia.
Well, Wikipedia's wrong. That's August 29.
Yeah.
At least they got the year
No, I'm a
right.
Leo. I'm a Leo. I'm not a Virgo.
I was gonna say.
I'm not a Virgo. I'm a Leo. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is an
I'm
early...
a classic Leo.
What does a classic Leo even mean? These are the things that right before he yells at me, I'm done with it. Like, and action. Ray says things like this.
Yeah, I do.
We were talking about our belly buttons last time with the, remember?
Yeah.
We're trying to line it. Somebody said, you guys got to move closer or something. We were on a TV set.
Yeah,
You got to move closer. And there was, where's your tie landing?
Yes, exactly. To the tie landing, the end of the tie landing.
Show Ray that. Show Ray that. Don't just show me that.
Oh, wrap.
Make me the bad guy.
Okay.
I'm just like the bad guy that has to wrap it up, Dylan.
We have to wrap it up. Okay, and so it was great to have David here today. And I'm sorry.
No, you're so good. I'm trying to have you wrap it up. Do you want to co-host this podcast with me? Are you available every Friday?
Well, maybe one day I'd like to. Sure, why not?
Well, when you have some time, I'm gonna lure you in. Say,
Okay.
Hey, Ray, we do interview amazing guests.
You hang on to those pages.
I am.
Okay.
I'm literally, Dylan. You heard it here. Tony, you heard it here. Ray said he would come back. Somebody write that down.
I'll come back.
Let's see if he'll sign that.
I'll come back. I won't sign anything, but I'll come back.
Nor will he respond to text. Okay, Ray, I have a question.
Yeah.
I texted you like 3 times saying, hey, podcast Friday, are you going to be there?
I did not answer those texts?
No, you didn't. I'm going to show you this really quick.
All right, go ahead.
I'm going to show this to you. I won't show the phone number, but I'm going to show you this. Because I was like, okay, look at this. Look at this. You texted me back. I texted you one thing. This is how cool Ray Wise is. He texted me, text is fine. I said, do you want me to email you or do you want me to text you? And I said, and he goes, text is fine. I'll be there. And then I write here, Ray, hey, by the way, on Monday I write this.
Yeah.
Today's Friday.
Why are you sending me all these texts after I've said I'll be there?
Exactly. See, we live in Los Angeles.
I know.
People don't show up.
But I always plan
Ray
ahead.
Wise always does show up, though. And then I texted him on Thursday, and then today, nothing to hear from him. This is how cool Ray Wise is, though, because it doesn't matter when he says something and he goes, "I'll be there, David." That means he'll be there.
You know that I'll be there.
That is true.
Yes.
And not many people. And I got to say, I'm going to throw Tony and Dylan under the bus here, because they said earlier, they go, you know what? I don't know if Ray's going to come. And I said, no. Ray is like Santa Claus. He'll be there. With cookies. Show the cookies, Ray. Show the cookies. He came with cookies.
Yeah.
And we drank the milk already.
We have the
Just like
cookies
Santa Claus.
here. These are very delicious, by the way. Brown butter chocolate.
Have you ever played Santa Claus?
I used to play it every year. And then I played
your
it on
children, you
Fresh
mean?
Off the Boat, too. I played it.
You did?
Yeah.
I buy that.
And a beautiful Santa Claus makeup.
Oh.
Beautiful.
But you don't use makeup.
Well, you have to if you're going to play Santa Claus.
You're going to have another cookie.
Yeah.
That's how cool Ray Wise is, right there. Look at him. Look at the way he eats that cookie. The coolest man in town. The coolest man in Hollywood, right there. Ray Wise. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we love you guys. As you know, we're on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Alexa, all platforms that the podcast platforms that they have. This is how I am always getting nervous around Ray when I have to say all these lines. He just makes me nervous because he looks so cool, suave, and I'm just like, it's like you.
I try not to look at him, but I can't escape it.
You and James Bond. I want to hear that story next time. That's pretty cool. You told me that one in the elevator. Okay. Also, on YouTube, please tune in to YouTube. Watch Ray Wise. We're going to show you some clips of Ray Wise on this YouTube channel at David A.R. White. And Ray, do you want to throw people out to your Instagram, or do you not? You trying to hide from the world?
No, I'm on Instagram.
I know.
The Real Ray Wise.
The Real Ray Wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to want to tune into that because Ray's got good content every now and then.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't post very often because he is the Real Ray Wise. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have had an amazing time. We've had an amazing time hanging out. Thank you for the excuse just that I get to hang out with Ray Wise, but I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And tune in next time. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.
Yes. Was somebody listening?
I don't know.